Hello, everyone. Today is the 5th day of the International Thyroid Awareness Week, the Thyroid Day. And I chose a topic that does not get enough attention, in my opinion, related to Hashimoto's, adrenals. The questions came from two persons, Sylvia and Alana. Sylvia asked, what's the connection between Hashimoto and adrenal fatigue? How often do they go hand in hand? What can we do to support our adrenals? And Erlana asked another question, how do I know if my adrenal glands are fatigued, and can I do something to help them? Thank you both. Wonderful questions, important questions. Let's say something about adrenals. The adrenal glands sit on the top of the kidneys, and each of them weigh just 5 grams. But for each gram of tissue, the adrenals have one of the highest rates of blood flow and the highest concentration of vitamin C. There are two parts of the adrenal glands, the cortex and medulla. And the cortex produces the steroid hormones, cortisol, dehydroepiandrosterone, which actually helps to produce other hormones like testosterone and estrogen. And aldosterone, which plays a role to balance the salt water in our body and plays an influence on our blood pressure. The medulla produces epinephrine and non-epinephrine. These are the fight and flight hormones which are released to our body when we're experiencing extreme stress. The adrenals function on a circadian rhythm. This means that the greatest amount of hormones are released in the morning, and then the hormones decrease as the day progresses. When we first become stressed, the adrenals are pumping out a lot of cortisol and adrenaline, but over the time, they become exhausted. And the deficiency of all these hormones can result in adrenal fatigue. Anything that creates stress to the human body can lead to adrenal fatigue, from starting infections, food allergies or sensitivities, leaky gut, mineral deficiencies, excessive caffeine intake, sugar, alcohol, long working hours, and any type of loss. What are the symptoms of adrenal fatigue? Starting from feeling exhausted, fatigued, muscle and joint pain, low blood sugar, unbalanced immune system, migraine headaches, osteoporosis, sleeping problems, low sex drive, low body temperature, the thyroid problems, and weight gain and an ability to lose weight. So you can see that there is so much resemblance between the symptoms of adrenal fatigue and hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's. People with hypothyroidism often have weak adrenal glands. Adrenal glands and thyroid work together to supply the essential hormone and deliver them to the places where they are needed. So when our adrenal glands are not producing enough cortisol and someone has a thyroid problem, this can make the health condition even worse. How do you know if your adrenals are working well? One way is to measure cortisol. Cortisol test is better to do it in several points during the day, as cortisol levels are fluctuating naturally during the 24 hours period. Another form is to make use of Dutch hormone testing. And this is a spot urine test, which additionally to the actual hormone levels provides an information about all the other metabolites. I would like to raise here a question about stress. Stress, I think, has a lot of definitions, and it's so personal. I'm wondering, what is your definition of stress? Physical and psychological distress plays a role in the development of autoimmune diseases, Hashimoto thyroiditis. And many studies are confirming the effect of different stressors on the function of immune system. Studies have shown that up to 80% of patients reported uncommon emotional distress before the disease onset. And so the addition to the factor that the stress can cause disease, the disease itself is causing considerable distress in patients by creating a vicious circle. Our immune system is playing a role to sense external threats. But what happens when it has been programmed to stay in constant alert? And what are the factors that influence this programming? Early adverse circumstances are shaping the development trajectories, particularly in the areas of stress reactivity and physical and mental health. The childhood adversities, even the most subtle form of childhood stress, for example, like having a depressed parent, leads to changes in the brain in size and volume, and altering the expressions of genes that control a stress hormone output and triggering the overreacting inflammatory stress response and predisposing an adult to disease. An early life stress can induce multiple changes across the brain-gut axis that contribute to susceptibility to develop stress-related disorders. And how our gut is functioning, from digesting of food, presence of food allergies, sensitivities, processing of stress may be a sign of earlier difficult life experiences. The scientists are stating that early adverse event history may lead to lifelong changes in the gut microbiome. The environment in which we grow up has a considerable impact on the development of hormonal responses to stress. An adverse early experience has a continuous impact on the responses to stress, which is marked by abnormal metabolism of thyroid hormones, which actually is reprogramming how the axis responds to stress later in life. And early life trauma is associated with decreased peripheral levels of thyroid hormone, T3, but also we know from research that the quality of maternal care is determining the association between the conversion between T4 to T3. So the good maternal care is associated with increased conversion of T4 to T3. But what we can do to help and support our adrenals? In my opinion, in the first place, be very sincere to ourselves. And if there is unprocessed trauma in early years of our life, to take care of that. The good way to start reprogramming our response to stimuli is Hashimoto heart program. There you can figure out which stimuli and what circumstances are triggering you, and be aware of your learned responses. So furthermore, based on the evidence-based methods, you'll be able in this program to reprogram your immune system response to external and internal stimuli. But furthermore, I highly recommend that you are taking time daily journaling. Spend some time with yourself, preferably in the nature and open air, and going to bed in consistently at the same time can help you to lead with daily stresses. The other thing very important is by restricting our diet, counting calories, or over-exercising, we are bringing very much under stress our adrenals. So leave all the counting calories diets away and just keep eating small portions every 3 hours and eat balanced diet with high quality proteins, vegetables, healthy fats, and avoid sugar, just processed foods, and they can just spike your blood sugar levels and bring additional stress to your adrenals. As much as possible, avoid caffeine and alcohol, and exercise daily in moderation. Adrenal adaptogens are herbal medicines that can help you to support your adrenals. Additionally, vitamin B, zinc, and vitamin C are excellent nutritional source for your adrenals. So that was for today. Be sincere to yourself. Find your definitions of stress. What does stress mean to you? What are the triggers? Where are their origins? And start reprogramming your response to stimuli. Looking forward meeting you at Hashimoto's Heart Program. And take care. We're born to live, not just survive.